When we think about heroes and champions, we often imagine fictional characters that use their superpowers to save the day, then fly off into the sunset, never to be seen again. However, we do not realize that we already have heroes and champions in society, and these are the people in healthcare. These are the real champions of change. And for the past 50 years, organizations like HOSA have been building champions of change in students. I learned what a champion of change was at a really young age. When I was 4 years old, my mom was hospitalized due to open heart surgery. At this point in life, I had no clue what a hospital really was or how serious a situation my mom was in. However, there's one thing I do remember very clearly. After surgery, when my mom got back into her room, my dad was waiting for her and he embraced her in the biggest hug he has ever given to anyone because he knew that she was better now. Then the doctors also came in. One of those doctors came over to me, gave me a lollipop, and then walked out of the room quietly. He didn't stay to see if we would get any recognition. He didn't stay for a celebration. He simply did his job and then left without expecting anything in return, knowing that he changed a life. This moment stayed with me. This is because that is what a real champion of change is. A champion of change is not someone who seeks recognition from their efforts. A champion of change is someone that takes responsibility for their actions when it matters the most. Someone who can step into a situation where the outcome is unknown, where the stakes are high, and where the impact of their actions can change the life of someone forever. And this is what healthcare professionals do every single day. But champions of change are not born in operating rooms or hospitals. They were long developed before that. That is where HOSA comes in. Since its founding in 1976, HOSA has not only grown in numbers, but in purpose. It was created out of a need not to only educate a student, but to also lead them to the healthcare field with confidence, ability, and compassion. HOSA is not just an extracurricular activity. It is a training ground. Every competition, every leadership opportunity, and every real world scenario that students get put into gives them a chance to act, react, and think like a healthcare professional. They learn how to efficiently communicate, solve a problem, and put the needs of others before their own. And this is what the world needs the most right now, because the world is facing challenges that need change. A shortage of healthcare workers, the expansion of technology, and the increase of need of the service of healthcare workers. The question is not, is change needed? But rather, who's going to step up to make that change happen? The answer is every student at every HOSA event. Because these students are not only prepping for a career, they're prepping for a responsibility. Students that will be the future doctors, nurses, EMTs, and dentists. They don't do it because of the fame, the fortune, or the money. They do it because they know they can make an impact on someone's life. Just like that doctor that came into my mom's room and gave me that lollipop without expecting anything in return from us. That is the champion that HOSA is building. That is the champion that I strive to become.